Got it. All righty, and go live. So now it's moving.
We are live.
All righty. All right, we are live.
We made
Two times is a charm. Welcome everybody to Real Talk with Dr. Linda. And today I have with me the fabulous Christine McIver. Got that right?
correct.
Okay. With Inspired Choices Network. Thanks for joining the show today, Christine.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I'm going to read to you a little bit about Christine so you know who she is. Christine is a strategy and systems business leader, inspirational speaker, author, TV and radio podcast personality, and the founder and owner of Inspired Choices Network. Christine is highly successful at inspiring individuals and businesses to make choices that will bring them increased success, greater joy, self-confidence, and a remarkable, inspiring change, all of which increase the abundance in their lives and businesses. Welcome to the show, Christine.
I'm so glad that we're both being able to hear and see each other.
Right?
You know, this just speaks to our determination to have this conversation.
It's just so important that we really did need to do that. Yeah, the other day was just so crazy. So Christine, tell the audience a little bit about, we kind of know, who you are, what your business is, but how you got started and what formulated into the Inspired Choices Network.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to try to condense as much as possible. Your life in 2 or 3 minutes. Well, my first career choice was in human resources, and I absolutely loved it. The very first time I took a course, my whole, I got that first intuition hit of like, oh my gosh. And I was so excited. So I went into that career and I climbed the ladder, Dr. Linda, in every which way I could. I got involved in my local Human Resources Association. I became the president. I developed a mentorship program. I did all of the things. I loved it. And as I did my career and I grew and grew and grew, and I, got to the top of the ladder and all the rest of it, it became more and more obvious that an HR position in a lot of ways is a cop role. And,
yes, it is.
And people there, they only would come to see me when they were angry or frustrated, or they needed something from me. And it wasn't as much as supporting them as it was kind of like serving them in a very different way and giving people a lot of crap. And that was not fun. That was not fun. And being buried in paperwork. So as the universe does, it created a situation to force me forward. And I actually had a breakdown. I had a really bad breakdown, and it forced me to stop and evaluate what was very important to me. And it was about 8 months later that I said, okay, I can't go back into that. I need to be really following my heart. And I started my own business. I started coaching people. I got professional training and coaching coupled with my human resources. I thought, okay, this is a really good combination.
Right.
And I'm going along, and about 2 years in, I get a call from Voice America, and they asked me if I'd ever thought about being a radio show host. And about 3 weeks prior to that, I had done a vision board, and I put this vision board on the wall behind my computer so I would see it all of the time. And up in the corner, I had written Blog Talk Radio. Okay. I had no idea what that was. Like, it sounded like something fun, but I didn't know what it was. And my eyes shot up, and I heard the angels sing and all the rest of it. And
oh my goodness.
My whole body shook. Again, I had that physical reaction. Mm-hmm. Well, I said yes. And my very first show, I was so nervous. I've never had a panic attack in my life. I was having one. And I was grateful, and I was excited, and I was overloaded with, oh my God, how do I do this? And I cried for the first 15 minutes of my first show. Well, I survived, and I continued to do a show. And a few years later, I was with another organization with my show, and the owner asked me, had I ever thought about producing?
Hmm.
And my ego got really loud. And my ego was like, we're a business coach. We don't do that. There was that honestly, I'm like, it was loud. And I'm like, okay, stop it. Because I had been doing a lot of spiritual development and
Mm.
doing a lot of personal development. And I thought, ask more questions. You
Yeah.
don't know, ask more questions. Well, I did. And 6 months after starting to produce, I was the least owner of that platform. And
Wow.
like, wow, I really enjoy this. And I really enjoyed supporting other people, which was one of the things I loved in human resources, supporting other people to show them what was possible with where they could go. And a lot of people, for me, as I would speak to people, a lot of people would be like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. And I'm like, what are you what? You're like brilliant. I've heard you talk about this. You have clients, and so I would be shining a light on what I knew they were an expert in. And as I was doing this, I then moved over to, I launched my own platform. So my business was asking for something different. And so I launched the Inspired Choices Network. And I launched it in January the 1st, 2017. And I have been working with my business ever since, still doing business coaching personally, one-on-one, and growing the platform and inviting people to bring their voice to the world. And, I've grown so much through this process in learning how critical it is for us to be bringing our voices forward and to speak on behalf of our businesses.
Mm.
There's a lot of people, I would talk to them and they'd be like, oh, I don't want to be out front, or I don't want to be seen. And that's fine if you don't want to be on camera like you and I are right now. It's fine if you don't want to, have your voice recorded, but you must be able to utilize your voice for
Mm.
your business.
Mm.
And that is the piece that learning this and really being able to share that with businesses, especially since the pandemic,
Yeah.
people are scrambling and they're floundering. They're not sure what to do. Well, I've had an online business since I started. I've been doing this since 2008. So this was nothing new for me.
Nothing
Of
new.
course,
Yeah.
there were some changes that did come along, but a lot of people were really struggling. And so for me, I was excited because I got to show them that they could do it in a different way and still thrive.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that ties nicely in our topic for today. It's your voice, your business is your business is your voice.
Well, your business needs to be connected to your
And
voice.
your business needs to be connected to your voice. So
Yes.
with that, one of the questions is, why is your voice required for you, your body, and the world?
Well, why do we go into business?
Mhm.
Right? Why do we go into business? I mean, if we're talking Maslow's hierarchy, we go into business so that we can pay the bills, so we can put a roof over our heads, so we can put food on our bellies, so that we can put shoes on our feet, so we can take care of our families, right? So first and foremost, we go into business for our personal needs. And we go into business because, and hopefully people are doing this, because there's something that lights you up that you want to bring to the world. So what's very, very important is to understand that your business is there to support you. And who needs the house? Who needs the food? Who needs the clothing? Your body does. It's not your spirit. Your spirit doesn't need clothing. Your spirit could be just naked as a jaybird all the time, right? It's your body. And it's your body that needs that beautiful bed to lie in, not your spirit. So we have to be able to see that your body not only requires support and has needs, but that your body also deserves to be given luxury and being taken care of and being supported beyond the Maslow's hierarchy. Your body deserves to laugh. Your body deserves to not friggin' worry. So when we understand what a business is doing for our body, and that, it's so funny because sometimes when I explain this to people, they're like, oh, they will actually step up for their body. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
They will step up for their body. And so they will start to lean in more to really taking charge of their business. And as they do this, everything that you do, everything that I do, people are watching, whether it's your children, it's your clients, it's your future clients, it's the neighbors that don't even like you. People are watching. And what you're choosing to do in the world contributes to or takes from the world. And if people are listening to me, they're definitely ones that desire to contribute to the world.
Very well said. Very well said. Yeah. And most people probably don't realize that, we talked about body language last time, how that, plays a role in you as an individual, and it plays a role in how you're building your brand. People pay attention to that.
Yes.
That's quite interesting.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about, how using your voice really creates for your business. I mean, we know it's about branding, but how does that interact with your voice in the business?
Well, when you are clear, right? So right now, you and I are very clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we're clear.
We're clear. And if you didn't know, we tried this 2 days ago. We had some major glitches, which both of us were very surprised about, but
Yes.
it does tie in beautifully now to our conversation. When you are very clear about your purpose, and you're very clear with your voice, you're connecting to your business in a different way, because you're owning your desires, you're owning your purpose. And when you're doing that, you connect with your business. Your business is an entity unto itself. Your body is not your business is not your body. It's a different entity. So as you get clear and you connect with your business through your purpose, through your desires, you need to be the voice for your business. You can do all the marketing in the world. And of course, I do a lot of marketing. You can do all the branding in the world. But what do people listen to? They listen to a voice. Who do they trust? They trust a voice. And now that voice could be a written voice, that could be an audio voice, that could be through marketing the voice, but it's your voice that must drive forward for your business to create trust. And when you create trust, people want to know more. They will lean in, they will ask questions, and that's when people will hire you. But they're not going to hire you if they don't trust you. And if it's not your voice, Dr. Linda, that's leading your business, energetically, it'll be a miss.
Yes. You're so right. And people don't realize often, well, I'll say people don't realize, but a lot of times people don't realize the impact that their voice has on their business, on their personal relationships. Sometimes we all may say things or use our tone of voice very differently. Voice inflection has a lot to do with that.
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about that voice inflection and help people understand how that plays a role as well.
So what just jumped up in my mind, which I've never had this before, so thank you. This is not about using the cords in your throat. Okay, this is that when I say voice, and so thank you for whatever you asked or whatever energy you're being, because clarity is asking to be said.
Yes.
It's not about the cords in your throat. When I speak about your voice, it is a beautiful creation of your values, your desires, your purpose, and what you are an expert in, all combined, all energetically combined And unless your voice with all of that clarity comes together and comes through your messaging, through your conversations, through your branding, through your business, through everything, you're not using your voice. So for instance, if I was to come on here, and here's the inflection piece. So I just love this. This is not planned at all. Okay, so so Dr. Linda, have you ever thought about bringing your voice to the world?
No.
Right. So,
Right.
so what, right away I went into a nearly like that push energy of, I'm going to teach her how important this is. Right. That's not, my heart's not there.
Right.
My values are not there. My expertise is not there. Of course, most people do not. I didn't dream about bringing my voice to the world before I did. That you don't wake up in the middle of the night. Most people, when they're starting
Right.
out in business,
I'm
and
bringing my
I
voice.
want to bring my voice to the world. Like we don't. But
Right.
when you come from that space of combining all of that, all of those aspects of you, your spirit, your heart, your desires, when you bring all of that together, that's where your voice, your true voice comes through. And I am a very strong believer that every single solitary person has something different to bring to the world. I often will say to my hosts, okay, so here's the thing. If I wrote out a script and I gave it to you, Dr. Linda, and I had the exact same script and we went into separate rooms and we recorded the show.
Right.
And we just put the show out there, same timing, same location, same everything, right? If all the algorithms were just in alignment, there would be people that would gravitate to your recording and would never see mine, and vice versa, because the energy of you is your signature. The energy of me is my signature. And it's important that your voice brings forward what your signature, your unique combination, so that we can learn from you in a way that they would never learn from me. Again, exact same script.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, most people probably don't think about it that way, but it's that attraction. What causes that? But when I hear you say it's the voice, but not really the vocal cords of the voice.
Correct.
Yeah, it's what you bring to the table. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So it's that combination, and that's how you and I might have a very similar thumbprint, very similar, right? But upon close investigation, there is definitely differences. And people are attracted energetically. We know that the actual speaking is only 20% of our communication. We are communicating our energy constantly. We are not communicating. Like you can't not, right? You can't not.
Right.
And so when you are bringing that beautiful combination and your voice to the world through all of this, that's where you start to show up in the world and be a contribution to the world, to your business, to your body, to your bank account, and to your heart.
Wow. Yeah. So what are some 3 simple things that people can do to have that level of awareness that their voice, not the vocal cords, but their voice is their business, that branding piece of it?
Well, I think one of the very first things is you need to sit down and have a conversation with yourself. You're always going to be nervous before you try something. Oh, yeah. You're always going to be nervous, unless you're a baby and you don't know that when you stand up and you're going to fall down on your bum. But you're always going to have some level of nervousness. And that's actually good. When I have hosts that are starting on the network, they're like, I'm so nervous. I said, good. And they'll be like, why? Because you're going to be present. You're not going to just slough it off like, oh, this is no biggie. You're going to be present. Your desire to succeed is going to be heightened. That's a really good thing. So embrace being nervous. This is a gift for you to be present. So that's the very, very first thing. Know that if you have something on your heart that you want to communicate, if you have a book you want to write, if you have a song you want to sing, if you have a product or anything that you have on your heart that you want to create and share to the world, know there are people out there looking for it. There are people out there seeking what it is that you have on your heart. And until you bring it to the world, they can't find it. So allow yourself the luxury of knowing people are looking for what you know. And please stop looking outside. Please look within. You came here on this planet to be a contributor, to make a difference. You just didn't come here to be miserable. You didn't. You might be miserable a lot of the time, and I've been miserable, but that's not why you came. And even if you don't know cognitively, like you know that you came here for a reason. Please show up. Please allow yourself to enjoy the possibilities of your brilliance that you are hiding from the rest of us.
Wow, so well said. So well said. And I hope for the people that are listening that they know that, two things that come out of what you said, and I'm not paraphrasing, but, share what's on your heart. And I think we as individuals, we as business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, oftentimes we think that we are not good enough, or we haven't done everything that we need to do. So we start looking elsewhere, and it doesn't do us any good at all, because we're just hunting for, that next thing. And we just need to focus on what we have, because you said it, we've got it. We just have to recognize that.
Exactly. I mean, if you look out and you see somebody that's doing something, start asking questions about what about that am I attracted to, and what part of that is in me already, and start going and looking within you, because other people are great teachers, but you don't have to be like Dr. Linda. You don't have to be like Christine. Be like you, and you've got something neither of us have.
Right, you're right. Yeah. And I think we get, as individuals, we probably get caught up with, oh, there's so many people over at their site, or they have so many followers and I don't have as many. So then we think, oh, I need to change up and redo something else. I mean, I found myself doing that once upon a time as well. So I know that people do that. What's the best way to prevent ourselves from feeling like we've got to add more tools to the toolbox when we've got everything in this little package already?
Well, you have skills that you don't know you have. Now, there might be some learning, some education, right? If you're drawn to it, and I don't know about you, but I've gotten to a point where sometimes I'm like, holy moly, I have got so many things that I have to go through.
I can't do it.
Done. Right. Instead of being in that space of, oh my gosh, I need more, check the energy. Are you doing it from a space of this is going to grow me? Or are you doing it from a space of, if I don't do this, then? You got to come at it. And maybe it's not today. Maybe it's a month from now. Maybe it's 6 months from now. You've got to be in a calm place before you make these choices, and know that they're coming from the space of, oh, yes, this is my next step. This is going to add to my life. This is going to add to my business. There are things that, I needed to get one of these to start learning about what I was going to do with my life.
You told me about one of these.
I did. And that's the beauty of, kind of stepping forward and trying something new.
Right. Yeah.
And just know that check in on you. Where's this coming from? If it's coming from a place of fear, you need to step back. If it's coming from a place of, fear of missing out, step back, take a breath, and reevaluate that.
Awesome.
You're smarter than you know. You're way smarter than you know.
Well, I think that's one of the things we as individuals struggle with, is stepping back. And when we step back, that allows us to make 2 steps forward. And sometimes people think when you step back, you're going to fall off. No, we're not. You're not going to fall off. You're going to
and you're not going to miss the train, because there's another train coming.
Well, Christine, what do you have something for our listeners today who are
Phew.
just tuned right into you?
I do have something. I have this document that I've created to really help support people that are considering bringing their voice to the world on a physical level. And it's called The 7 Myths That Keep You as the Best Kept Secret.
Ah,
So a lot of us want to bring our voice out. We don't know how. And so that is something that I created from talking to so many people for so many years. I'm like, okay, let me just lay this all down and sometimes get it out of my head. And this is something I wanted to share with your listeners.
awesome. I love it. The 7 myths that keep you, oh gosh, the 7 myths that keep you as the best kept secret.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I had it right or not. Awesome.
You got it,
Awesome.
you got it. Yeah.
Well, I will list how do people get in contact with you?
Well, they can email me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca, or they can go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can't miss me. I'm there. There's all
Make sure
sorts of
that all the listeners have your links and how they can connect with you. So it's been such a pleasure, Christine. What is a few last words you'd like to share with the audience?
Be curious.
Ooh.
Curious. You have not tapped half of your potential. Trust me, you have not. You are not any farther behind than anyone else. And you can make a change so quickly when you start to build that confidence within yourself. And how you build the confidence is by taking a step, being afraid, crying through the first 15 minutes of a radio show, and moving forward.
Or do you find yourself doing, delete, replay, redo?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Christine, it has been a pleasure to have you today. Christine from Inspired Choices Network. And I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your time with me and having the opportunity to get to know you a little bit better and learn from you as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you, audience, for joining me on Real Talk with Dr. Linda. Until next Thursday, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.